In this video, we will talk about Lambda function in Python. So what is a Lambda function? Basically, Lambda function is itself only a function, but it is a very small function, and it is also known as small anonymous function. Let me just first tell you the syntax of Lambda function. So we write like this, Lambda, and then we write the arguments that we want to pass to this function, or you can say the parameters. Okay, let me write two arguments, a comma b, right? And then we write a semicolon, and then we write the body of the function in a single line. Yes, exactly, in a single line we have to write whatever we want to evaluate in this particular function. So let's say I write a plus b. So that's it. This is the Lambda function. I write lambda a comma b. These are the arguments that we can pass to this function, and then a plus b is the expression that I want to evaluate using this Lambda function. So we can also say that Lambda functions are used to provide one or more arguments and then to evaluate a particular expression. And you will say that we define functions like this. Let's say def add, and here we do like this, a plus b, and then in the arguments we define a and b. So here you see we define a name of the function. This and this is exactly same in function. This and this will exactly return the same thing, a plus b, a plus b. This will also return, but you will say here we have given a name to this function, that is add. Here we can also give the name like this, add equals to lambda a comma b, a plus b. So both of these will give same result. Okay, let me show you. So I'm printing add and then passing the arguments, let's say 10 and 25. Okay, so it should get 35 as a result. Let's check if what it gets. So you can see it gives 35, that is the sum of these two numbers. I can also do like this, a multiply b. You will see it will give now multiplication product of these two numbers, that is 250. So this way you can create Lambda functions. Now you will say why there are Lambda functions in Python. We can do the same with normal functions. Okay, you can say one thing is that it is short and sweet. We can just write the entire function in a single line of code, and especially if we want to evaluate a particular expression. But there is even one more purpose behind it. Let me show that also with the help of an example. The main benefit of using Lambda function is using it within a normal function. Let me show you how. So let me define a function, let's say example, and this function takes a single argument, let's say number, and then here I am returning a Lambda function. Here I am returning a Lambda function. Return, let's say lambda, and let's say result, let's say result colon result multiply by number. Always remember that here in Lambda function we make use of a colon to separate the arguments and the expression. So this is our expression. Now let's check what this function returns. So I'm just printing example, and then I'm passing a number, let's say 2. Okay, I'm just passing a small integer number 2, and let's say what it is printing. So you see function example.locals.lambda. So this is a Lambda function stored at this memory address in this PC. Okay, so this returns a Lambda function. Now I'll show you the exact purpose of this. Now let's say I want to make a function double a number. I can create a double function from this, doubler function from this. What I mean by doubler, you see doubler is equal to, then I write example 2. Okay, now what can I do is I can simply pass any number as an argument to this doubler, let's say 10. Okay, now see what it gives. So you see it gives 20. Now maybe you understand why I write the name doubler. So it is basically doubling the argument that I have passed here. Now let's say I write tripler example and then 3. Okay, tripler, let's see what it gives. So you see now it gives 30. Doubler gives 20 and tripler gives 30. I need not write a separate logic, for that. This 3 is passed to this number, right? It returns a lambda function. This value is passed as a result. Okay, this value is passed as the result argument. That's why it gives 10 into 3, 30, right? 10 into 2, it gives 20. So I hope you got the idea. This argument, this particular argument is passed as the result argument to the lambda function, while this is passed as the argument to this example function. So usually whenever people see the usage of lambda function, it may seem a little bit confusing to them, but as you will try it yourself, you will be having great clarity about it. And if you will practice it sometime, you will find out your own use cases where you can use lambda function.